Hello, Nigeria. It's a pleasure to have you on Newsline this lovely Sunday evening. I am Becky Madujemo. I promise you will stay glued because everything coming later is fantastic. Last week, man at large Hamis Urugu found himself in Yankari. Remember how for a while he got stranded along with Fatima Abbas Hassan when the vehicle conveying them landed in a ditch. Somehow, they dug themselves out and he gave us a tour to remember. There is more where that came from. The game reserve and all of its endowments will be revealed in the first segment. We will be talking about money in two different lights. You need to watch and be informed. Now, recently, our crew visited 8 beautiful babies born to 2 overwhelmed couples in different towns. They are bundles of joy, but their parents are not over the moon at their crowded arrival. Find out why. Then the parties celebrating birthdays, weddings, and awards are elaborate and quite entertaining. The news of the day will be read first by Joseph Johnson. Happy Sunday, Joseph.
Thank you, Becky. Very juicy stories you have there. Be looking forward to it. Let's get right to the news now. Troops of Operation Lafia Dole have arrested a wanted Boko Haram suspect, Maji Lawan, at Banki in Borno State. A statement issued by Director Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu says the suspect, believed to be number 96 on the wanted list earlier published by the Army, was apprehended after he infiltrated into the internally displaced persons camp in the area. The suspect, according to the statement, is currently undergoing preliminary investigation and will be handed over to the appropriate authority for further action. Meanwhile, troops of the 222 Battalion deployed in Operation Lafia Dole have neutralized 2 Boko Haram terrorists, with others fleeing into the bush around Malari village in Borno State. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu says during the ambush operation, the troops recovered 10 vehicles from the terrorists. The statement advises the public to always report suspicious movements or activities to security agents. Meanwhile, troops deployed in Operation Well Stroke in Gombe local government area of Benue State have encountered armed militia men with large herds of cattle while on clearance operation along Bajimba Ako axis of the state. A statement by Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, Director Army Public Relations, says the troops dislodged the armed militiamen from their camp following superior firepower, while others escaped into nearby bushes with gunshot wounds. Items recovered include 1 AK-47 rifle, 2 AK-47 rifle magazines, 60 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition and 5 motorcycles. However, efforts are on to get other fleeing members of the armed militiamen by the troops. And the Nigerian Air Force says it will continue to place premium on well-being and capacity building of personnel for effective discharge of its constitutional responsibilities. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar re-echoed this at the inauguration of some completed projects at the 211 Quick Response Group in Owerri, Imo State, where Olajide Bello reports.
The idea of establishing the 211 Quick Response Group after an assessment of the internal security challenges facing Nigeria was conceived in November 2016. Also, a Special Operations Command was established in Bauchi State with 3 Quick Response Groups located in Gusau, Zamfara State, Ikpetu-Ijesha in Osun State, and Owerri in Imo State, with a view to adequately positioning the Nigerian Air Force working in synergy with other security agencies to deal with threats to national security.
But every Nigerian has a responsibility to ensure that he contributes to the security of Nigeria. It is not a purely armed forces thing. Every person has a role to play. And I want to say that in the last 3 years, we have certainly, as a service and as members of the armed forces, with the other security agencies, have done extremely well.
Non-commissioned officers' accommodation and the electricity project that we are about to witness here today will certainly motivate personnel of the Nigerian Air Force to continue to put in their best in order to achieve our collective operational capacity for the attainment of Nigerian Air Force objectives.
The Air Chief had earlier paid a courtesy call on Governor Rochas Okorocha, commending his efforts towards providing an enabling environment for the Air Force to discharge its duties effectively. From Owerri in Imo State, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari joins family, friends and the media world to celebrate veteran journalist and co-founder of Newswatch magazine, Ray Ekbu, as he clocks 70. In a statement signed by Femi Adesina, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, the President believes Ekbu's consistency and forthrightness in speaking and writing the truth to authorities deserves special commendation, especially the many times he placed his life at risk in fighting for democracy and the institutionalization of good governance in Nigeria. President Buhari says that his wealth of knowledge, wisdom and editorial skills should serve as a benchmark for up-and-coming journalists as the future of the industry rests on the indelible tenets of fairness, accuracy and balance. In the quest to support the lives of women and children of both Nigeria and the Gambia, wife of the President Aisha Muhammad Buhari hosted her counterpart, the First Lady of Gambia, Fatoumata Barrow, and paid a visit to Maitama District General Hospital. The occasion was also to commemorate the birthday of the Gambian First Lady. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports on why the event was celebrated in Abuja, Nigeria.
Sunday, the 5th of August, marked the birthday of the Gambian First Lady Fatoumata Barrow, and she has decided to pay a visit to the Gambian students currently studying in Nigeria in an effort to supporting them and give them words of encouragement for becoming a useful future leaders. She has decided to stop over as a mark of respect to pay a visit to the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. The duo have concluded to pay a visit to the patients at Maitama District Hospital in commemoration of the birthday, and the first port of call was the emergency pediatric ward. They sympathized with the patients and shared with them their sorrow. Mrs. Buhari and Madam Barrow moved to the general pediatric unit and maternity ward. They present gift items to the patient. While praying for their quick recovery, Hajja Aisha and Madam Barrow assured not only them for their full support at all times, but to the women, children and other less privileged in their respective countries.
Actually, she visited Nigeria to see the Gambian students that are schooling in Rochas Foundation in Imo, and it coincided with her birthday, so we decided to spend it, to wish her a happy birthday in a small way by visiting the patients in the government hospital.
Alhamdulillah, thanking God for everything, for adding another year on my life, celebrating it in Nigeria in a different way. Thank him very well.
The uniqueness of the celebration was overwhelmed by both the hospital management and the patients, so much so that they could not hide their happiness.
I think it's a great tip on our part. We have to be grateful to the administration too, our First Lady, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, for bringing her to at least before the patients. They are still, all of them live, and they've got a lot unexpectedly from them.
The event was climaxed with the cutting of the birthday cake in a very low-key atmosphere at the residence.
Let's turn to politics now. The national leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has lifted the suspension placed on Senator Shehu Sani, representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District of Kaduna State. A statement by the acting National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Yakini Nabene, indicate that the National Secretariat of the party has lifted the suspension and confirmed that the distinguished Senator Sani Shehu is a bona fide member and leader of the party. The party therefore directs the chairman of the APC in Tudun Ward and others to implement the directive with a view to complementing the peace efforts being made by the national leadership of the party to bring back peace in the party in Kaduna State. And Gombe State Governor and former Accountant General of the Federation, Ibrahim Damkwambo, has declared his aspiration to contest for president come 2019. This put to rest the speculations about his intentions to join the race in the forthcoming presidential elections. Governor Damkwambo made the declaration in Gombe at a consultative meeting with delegates from the Northeast, asking for support from party members.
Over a number of years and months, we have been making a lot of consultations. We felt this time around our zone, the great zone of this country, the Northeast, should be given opportunity to conduct and run the affairs of this country.
The first batch of 543 2018 pilgrims from Niger State have been airlifted to Saudi Arabia from Mina International Airport. Dauda Mohammed reports.
The first batch of intending pilgrims from Niger State, drawn from Mariga, Mashegu, Kontogora and Chenchaga local government areas, consisting of 304 females as well as 239 males, with 4 officials were earlier screened at the Mina Hajj camp. The intending pilgrims, who were in high spirit, were later addressed in the Boeing 747 aircraft shortly before takeoff by Niger State Deputy Governor Ahmed Mohamed Ketsu. The Deputy Governor assured the intending pilgrims that the state government has put in place measures to ensure their comfort while in Saudi Arabia and warned them against breaking the laws of the Holy Land.
I believe we have met up with the time. Our intending pilgrims, the first one has lifted. The other ones, we have a relationship with them. We have discussed with them. The next schedule will be communicated to the State Pilgrim Board within short possible time.
No state is going to have one airline. We'll have a pool of aircraft and we'll deploy them. The Hajj Commission will deploy them to every state that is ready.
Over 3,200 intending pilgrims from Niger State are expected to be airlifted to Saudi Arabia in 6 flights from the Mina International Airport. Dauda Muhammad, NTA News.
In the meantime, one major prayer in the minds of most pilgrims is to attain a successful Hajj pilgrimage worthy of acceptance by Allah. It is in view of this that the National Hajj Commission is intensifying enlightenment of pilgrims to achieve this desired objective. Musa Abubakar reports.
The Talbiyah prayer is among the supplication every pilgrim is required to be acquainted to perform Hajj. This orientation is a guide for pilgrims on the do's and don'ts while performing the Hajj rites, as well as the use of facilities in Medina and Mecca.
No, it's not coming up now. It's something that is a continued effort. We have started right from Nigeria and we will continue up to the time when we are at Mashair. What I mean by Mashair, when we go out for Mina outing. Even the food that are being served to the pilgrims, they should try to, patronize the ones served by the commission so that they can get the best out of it.
Meanwhile, the Nakan team in charge of feeding of pilgrims have visited one of the catering companies contracted to cook for pilgrims in Medina, where the team leader expressed satisfaction with the hygiene and quality service offered by the company.
We come here daily to ensure that the standards, the quality of the meal, the quantity is not a kind of compromised.
The company has the capacity to cook over 50,000 meals per day from Saudi Arabia. I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Now, as part of its corporate social responsibilities, the NTA StarTimes will henceforth donate 1 million naira yearly to SOS Children's Villages in Nigeria. Chief Executive Officer, StarTimes Nigeria, Justin Zhang, said this during the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the two organizations. Adire Brookslyn Sunday was there, now reports.
Established to build families for children in need, the SOS Children's Villages have been involved in helping these children shape their own future and contribute to the development of their communities. The signing of this Memorandum of Understanding is to complement the efforts of the management of the children's villages in building for them a better tomorrow,
which is to empower young people.
National Director Ehosa Enwese said taking care of the children is one and helping them to become independent is another.
In the long run, to reduce the unemployment rate in the country, which is a major concern, because we know that the future is now. And if we don't have young people who are ready to lead the future, we'll just be in one place without moving.
We want to use our platform to deliver some programs for training, let them know more about information, have more knowledge, and have a better work skills.
Apart from the 1 million naira annual donation, the children's villages also got StarTimes digital TV facilities with live subscription. Adire Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
And now a quick look at the weather picture across the country.
For joining us on the weather segment, I'm Taidi Hellingway. There has been a reduction in day and night temperatures across most cities, and this has been as a result of the rainfall activities we've had in the last couple of days. And onto the forecast, thunderstorms are anticipated over the northeast, extending towards Gombe, Bauchi, Jos, Yola, Mambila Plateau, Zaria, Kaduna, and Yellow axis. While moderate rains are also anticipated over the central cities and places around Uyo, Eket, Ikom, and Calabar axis. While the northwest, the inland, and the southwest coast should be predominantly cloudy in the morning hours. Progressing into the day, thunderstorms with rains are also anticipated over the north, parts of the central cities, down to the coastal states. For the maximum temperatures across some selected cities, to stand by.
Time now for a short break. Becky will be right back with the juicy stories on NewsLine after these messages. Stay with us.
A famous boxer once said, "The fight is won long before you step into the ring." It takes massive investment, dedication, never backing down. In 2005, Glow invested in the world's only privately owned undersea data cable, then connected this to its extensive fiber optic network throughout Nigeria, delivering flexible and affordable data and generous airtime bonuses for everyone. You see, it's not what you step into the ring with that makes you the master. It's everything you did to get you there. Glow Yakata. Get up to 6 gigabytes data every month for 6 months and 2,200 Naira bonus for every 100 Naira recharge to call all networks where talkers and browsers live. The largest data network, Glow, Grandmasters of Data.
A beautiful life and a great future is possible. Stand with Standards Organization of Nigeria. Avoid substandard products, electrical appliances with damaging effects, tires without DOT number, stuffed and rusty edges. They can cause accidents. 12.5 kg LPG cylinders used as camp gas is a disaster waiting to happen. Substandard cables can cause inferno. Other substandard products to avoid include batteries, electrical bulbs, iron rods, pressing iron, brake pads. They will only endanger our today and future. Join hands with SON in ridding our country of substandard products. Don't buy or sell substandard products. See something? Say something. Call these numbers. Standards Organization of Nigeria. Improving life through standards.
The old one don't vamoose, so as the new one land, the bam. Better bop inside every chop we get Mr. Chef seasoning cube. 10 Jara cubes there inside the 100 cube packets, and 5 Jara cube inside the 50 cube packets. Go buy your own now before the Jara then finish. Mr. Chef, the jolliment you not go forget.
Bros, I find correct words. Huh? See the shop for that side.
Look how that
be correct words.
Now the shop be done, now the next one.
Peter, see as people they pack, they go to the shop, go buy clothes. It don't reach like 5 days now. I just suspect this Tunde way this is where in Waka could carry Waka. See, I go blow whistle. I go blow whistle to Kuku spoil. Your whistle. Come on, go investigate the matter before you blow whistle. Whistle blow. Come on, come on.
Thank you for coming.
Show first. Ready? Come. Not only you the circle for this market. Why be saying only your shop everybody they come? I just want blow whistle. I go blow something.
This will not be whistle blowing matter. Now MTN goodie bag.
What it be MTN goodie bag?
With MTN goodie bag, if you carry your market enter another level, whether not for Facebook or for WhatsApp or for Twitter, for as low as 25 naira.
25 naira.
Yes, so dial *131*3# with just 25 naira daily or 50 naira weekly. You go get double data to browse Facebook, Instagram, chat, WhatsApp. Make yourself come to get double.
Keep your white fabrics glowing whiter, your home sparkling and free from germs with Hypo. Make a dazzling impression every time and let your whites speak for you.
My wife. Any other wife is a counterfeit. Oh, Mama.
Hypo. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Now available in Lime Breeze.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Thanks for staying on the line. Yankari Game Reserve, amazing ecosystem. Beyond wildlife, the springs, landscapes, and fluctuating temperatures make the location worth experiencing. Hamis Rogo dips further into the reserve and brings back stories of the hidden treasures of Yankari and its people.
The game reserve in Bauchi has a distinctive aura. It is aura of beauty and serenity. I had some beautiful encounters on that show. I especially recount my encounter with this mother baboon. It has been close-miking me over a packet of biscuit I held. When I showed interest to share it with her, she forcibly collected it from me whole. Unlike me, however, she refused to share even with her suckling baby. I know mothers to be selfless, but I take exception to mother baboons. We had the luck of running into troops of baboons for raging, and many executing inventive mischief with impunity. But I'm taken more by the wonderful water systems in this iconic ecosystem. Rivers, lakes, and warm springs flow with graceful abandon here. In fact, there are 3 different warm springs in Yankari, all with varying degrees of temperatures. Wiki Warm Spring is perhaps the best known of the 3. It is the one that receives visitors more. This spring is 31.1 degrees centigrade at all times. And no matter the changes in the atmosphere, it remains the same. What does it mean to be 31 degrees centigrade in a water for bathing? So join me. Well, I fold my legs. Well, it is like it is being tepid, but then that is as beautiful as it can. But the story I should like to tell you is far beyond the warmth or the label of the warmth of this place. It is the origination of the whole water itself. It emanates under this rock. An igneous rock it is, under a very deep valley. And the water is cascading down. As you see it cascading, you can see that an element of the warmth circulating like water is boiling. That is its natural point. Many people cannot say exactly from where it is coming, but then this is the rock in which it is coming. So from here it is running. It's running water that is linking up with the river Benue and terminating maybe at the Atlantic. But then this is the interesting place. Another interesting thing I should like to tell you is the valley. On top of it are trees, beautiful trees, elegant if you ask me. And then obviously the igneous rock that is threatening to fall under you. How beautiful it can be for a place of tourism. The water is packed here to allow visitors to have a go at it, to enjoy its warmth and rejoice at the beauty of the environment. It is a running water, however, covering long distances and emptying at this river. The confluence is of most distinct nature. The river and the spring join together and move together, but the color of their waters remain different. While we are still on the subject of spring water in Yankari, I was in another amazing spring, the Maulgo spring, in the deep recess of the reserve. Maulgo is at a 2 degrees centigrade constant, never changing. This water, rather surprisingly, has rich fish life and is used for medicinal purposes too. This is the source of the water. Just you have to clean it, you will find from where it is coming. This is it. It's a rocky area, it's a rocky profile, and the water is coming directly out of the rock. That is the nature of it. So it is a rock water, it is warm, it never changes, and it links up with the river as it makes its trajectory to River Benue. I launched myself into the water to feel its warmth. It is nice. I moved to a point where it linked up with the river Gaji at the head eastward, each maintaining its coloration. It is not only the spring water that add value to life in Yankari though. This section of River Gaji is phenomenal. It is the main source of drinking water for the wildlife here, especially in the dry season. The water never dries up. We craved to run into some wildlife taking water as we arrived here. We could only see footsteps and droppings. The animals left not long ago.
Another riveting tour by Hamisu Urogo. Keep bringing it. Now, let's talk about money and how we can have bundles of beautiful, bountiful billions of Naira, of dollars. I'm sure I have your undivided attention right now. Money is magnetic, isn't it? We need money. We want money. It's never enough, right? That explains why most people can't stop thinking about money. And I gave some people just a penny for their thoughts on mega millions. Human wants are unlimited is the first rule of basic economics. Money happens to be the tangible medium between man and his wants, or should I say needs? Acquiring this medium requires familiar efforts. Hard work tops the list. However, a fusion of abstracts like luck, chance, and time could very well spin stacks of currency into grateful hands. Reality check. This is a dream of the majority. In fact, the waking thoughts of the average Nigerian. Some were honest enough to admit that they think about money a little too much.
Always.
When you say always, what do you mean? Like every time?
Every time, yeah.
Why?
Because money is an essential thing for everyone.
Every time. I think of money every time.
Like morning, noon, and evening.
How many hours is in a day? 24 hours. I think about money, let's say 18 hours.
I think about money every time, every second.
Every day, every now, my brain are working 24 hours thinking of money. How do I sustain the beautiful wife and children I have at home? So, and to meet up, you looking good now, people appreciate you. Is it not money?
Money.
I think I buy money every day.
My respondents who boldly confessed to obsessing over money resisted the urge to put a figure to their dream net worth.
I can't give you the exact amount of money you need for you to stop thinking about money, because every day there are so many expenses, expenditures, and all that.
There's no amount, because those that have trillion are looking for, more money. If I have billion today, how will I sustain that billion? I keep thinking about how to hit trillion. So I'll keep on thinking about money.
But not everyone is in this quest for endless supply of cash.
The kind of money that will be comfortable for me and my family, I think I'll be okay.
These may come across as modest, but not to the money expert who says dreaming of just enough and being in a constant state of want is altogether a dangerous mindset.
The appropriate way to think of money is to begin to imagine what you can do that will create wealth or create value, which people are ready to pay a purchase consideration to acquire, either in terms of service or in terms of produce. But when you begin to imagine that you can wake up in the morning and then by the time you go back to bed in the night, you have become a multi-millionaire, there's a problem.
Idealization of money, Johnson points out, is why people get easily attracted to incredible, unrealistic schemes.
That's why people begin to look at Ponzi schemes that are promising them returns that are logically unobtainable, that are logically unrealistic, and they believe they can put their money there, the little they have, and make money that is not feasible. A lot of Nigerians are going into betting. They believe they have 5 naira or 5,000 naira or 200 naira, and all of a sudden they can bet and then win the jackpot. Those, for me, are not the natural ways to make money.
Investing in Ponzi schemes, betting, and gambling in general were not itemized when respondents identified extreme measures they would never explore to get over money thoughts.
I won't go into crime because of money.
I cannot steal for money. I cannot steal for money.
I will not use human being I will not do trap money.
I will never kill or rob for money. That's the two things I will not do for money.
As a parting shot, I had to ask when they plan to stop thinking too much about money, like when they are really, really old and grey.
For this life, even though the big man is still looking for money again, so money cannot satisfy human being. Till you die, money cannot satisfy.
As a human being, you can't satisfy with money. As a human being, you can't satisfy. Even though they bring the whole money to me, I can't be satisfied.
I'll get the money. I'm going to get the money. I'll be a big man. So, by God's grace, my future is bright.
Great, amen.
Point to note, it's not enough to think endlessly. Get up, find value. By that I mean seek out legit opportunities within your reach to get money out of your dreams and into your hands. Now, she looks attractive and appealing when you first meet her, but sooner turns ugly when she comes in contact with many. This is quite ironic, considering the fact that she is very important to all of us. Wondering what I'm talking about or who? It is the Naira, Nigeria's legal tender. Have you wondered why we have more mutilated than minted notes in circulation? Abolade Salami will tell us.
Currency, Naira, has over the years remained the nation's pride and means of exchange in any form of business transactions in the country. With the high premium placed on the currency as a legal tender, it is expected that such should be handled with care. Did I say care? Yes, I meant real care. This is the Nigerian Naira, and every Nigerian is expected to handle the Naira with care and not abuse it. In the first place, let's ask ourselves, do Nigerians have any regard for the Naira?
The way our people handle money here is too bad. You know, they put it anywhere, they handle it anyhow, they don't even care about the money.
In terms of the usage of the currency, is actually really very poor. Our attitude to the usage is actually really very poor.
The most worrisome aspect is that the highly rated legal tender, most especially the 20 and 50 Naira polymer notes, as well as the 100 and 200 Naira paper denominations, have been subjected to several abuse, which often results to its rejection by people. What is responsible for this abuse?
We say, as they see that money, they want out. The money then go help us in Ahmed and bring new one for us, or make them change. To sell market itself, we no see change. And this money is no good to use. Everybody, when they bring it to touch and sell, no, it dey hard.
There's even a huge scarcity of the 100 Naira denomination in the society now. It has a downturn on my daily sales because most people would come with 200 Naira or 400 Naira. They want to collect 300 Naira. The 100 Naira is always an issue.
I'm feeling so bad because some of the money is not under my bed because people don't want to take the money against my hand.
The big question begging for an answer is, when will Nigerians begin to accord the Naira the respect it deserves? And what plans are commercial banks putting in place to mop up mutilated notes in circulation?
Unfortunately, you will even be surprised that banks will give you mutilated notes. If there are heavy sanctions apart from charges, fees, sure that the banks will begin to comply.
Becky, what do you think?
Well, I think that we should treat all currencies the same. Handle 100 Naira notes as you would 1,000 Naira note. Then mutilated notes will be history. There is a young couple in Usheshi local government area of Niger State who have become instant celebrities because of their God-given ability to have multiple births. Mary Noel Baje can't wait to take you to their home.
This common form of multiple birth is twin. But 30-year-old Saadatu, married to Danladi Saidu Mahmouda, has been blessed with a surprise package of quadruplet. Danladi's marriage to Aisha, his first wife, had been blessed with 4 children, including a set of twins, during which he married Saadatu, his second wife of about 10 years. Saadatu is said to have had 5 deliveries, which gave her 6 children, including a set of twins, but lost 2 to death. Saadatu's 6th pregnancy produced quadruplet for a trained driver with no vehicle to operate and by extension no source of livelihood. How did he receive the news of the package comprising 1 male and 3 female, bringing his children to a dozen?
I never expected this gift in my life. I thank God, and I'm urging the public not to leave this for me alone.
I thank God Almighty for the gift, and I pray God will protect them, but it is a big surprise.
Saadatu's safe delivery of a quadruplet at the Zingeru Comprehensive Health Center attracted so many onlookers that turned the health facility to a mecca of sort.
Within 1 hour, the 4 babies had come out, and they were active when they came. I realized they were preterm, and then they needed special care.
Because when the woman came in, she told me she had a twin gestation, which of course I saw the pregnancy was too big, the stomach was too big. But when I started, the first one came out, the second one came out. My assistant felt the stomach and said, "There's another one inside." I was surprised. I was even scared because I had never taken that kind of delivery before.
At the Wishishi home of the quadruplet, crowd awaited the newborn and the parents who were still being held back for observation at a tertiary health facility in Minna. It was a celebration in absentia.
This is the first of its kind in Wushishi local government, and we are happy but calling for support.
Although good-spirited individuals and government functionaries in Niger State have visited and made donations to the quadruplet, it is obvious that Danladi and his family need the support of all and sundry to move him away from a one-room apartment housing a family of 14 without a job in sight.
We have a very compassionate governor. As soon as he heard this, I was contacted and was made to come and see to the welfare of this. And this is a joy. So he has identified himself with the joy.
It's a welcome one. It's and also very prompt. I didn't expect anything less from somebody I know that is very, very sensitive to humanity.
What a fertile couple, lovely babies who need more than admiration. If you can, show them some real love. Another set of quadruplets were born a week ago in Lagos. The babies are still in hospital, and their parents, who are overjoyed at their arrival, are very anxious. Dotun Ogunyemi, who paid them a visit on behalf of NewsLine, reports.
Trying years, Mr. and Mrs. Adire waited on God for the fruit of the womb. And when God answered them, the reward was far beyond their expectation, a quadruplet. Let's meet Ade Pupo, Adeola, Ade Shemilewa, and Adeoye, born over a week ago to Mr. and Mrs. Adeyemi. These bundles of joy were born without any major complications but jaundice, a condition that causes yellowing of a newborn baby's skin and eyes. Hence, they are being incubated. For Mr. and Mrs. Adeyemi, their quadruplets, though a thing of joy, have spent over 10 days in these incubators, incurring a debt of about 8 million naira, and in another week, that amount will rise to 12 million. NewsLine spoke to the mother, Mrs. Toyin Adeyemi, a fabric seller who says she hasn't been able to hold her babies since their birth.
Financially, we need help.
The concern and love in her eyes and tone speaks volumes. The major challenge of the couple now is how to settle the millions of naira of hospital bill. This, they say, is a big burden.
The financial aspect of it, is too high, and I'm scared because already now I'm on Quadruplets. We need a lot of money. Even the hospital bill is too high. We cannot bear it. So we need assistance from the public and the government.
Tony's mother says God has blessed her children with one baby for every year of waiting.
My prayer is that all of them should be in good health with the 4 babies.
The quadruplets of 3 boys and a girl, their doctor says, are lucky to be alive when compared to the statistics of prenatal and neonatal deaths.
It's been a very lovely story, and it hasn't been that for so many other parents, not necessarily the multiple birth parents, but for preterm babies, the story hasn't been very good in Lagos. We did a study and we have a rough calculation that we really do need around 1,700 neonatal beds. That will be sufficient for that to match the large population we have.
Adedipupo, Adeola, Adeshemilewa, and Adeoye, who have been christened by the couple's pastor, will in the future be grateful to the many generous people watching, and it is hoped that some days ahead, these gifts will be a great asset to this country.
We are hoping help will come to them from you, dear viewer. The babies need support, and thanks already. 2 outstanding Nigerian women of high repute were honored within the week. Find out who and how after this break. Stay on the line.
When we move, we create magic. When our feet touch the ground, wonders happen. We were born to fly, to create the spectacular. Because our hearts are full of passion. One step at a time, we confirm our passion. Because in Africa, our rhythm inspires our game. Our game is our passion. Indulge your passion with Glow Data Unmatched. Great supporters of African football. Glow, grandmasters of data.
We have a challenge. My husband has a big interview, but his shirts aren't cleaning well.
Don't panic, Ngozi. Just use Good Mama. Good Mama's extra cleaning power removes all dirt, leaving a wonderful scent. Look, whites are white, colors are bright, and extra fresh.
Now in a 1 kg pack.
He got the job?
What do you think?
Obvious.
Good Mama knows best.
I've got something for you. Clorettes is the only gum that eliminates odors, giving you real fresh breath.
Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. The new Mocha Dreamtime mattress is specially designed with kids in mind. And it's water resistant too, so it's real easy peasy to clean. Mocha Dreamtime gives my kids the quality sleep they need to succeed. The first mattress designed with kids in mind. Mocha, adding comfort to life.
Come on, boys. Come on. Look at this guy. Yeah, that's it. Fall back. Fall back. Oh, these boys.
Tum Tum refreshes and sharpens your senses, making you come alive.
for it with TomTom.
Babe, who be this?
I got this, okay? Just...
Found it. Honey, you can keep him. I've got this.
Do anything to get your Airtel SIM back on if you haven't used it for 30 days or more to enjoy 20 times the recharge value. Recharge 100 Naira and dial *241# to get 2,000 Naira.
50? No, and then there's a girl.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Share a mantis, make a friend. Stick together till the end. Share a mantis, socialize. Share Mentos and be nice.
Mentos candy. Crunchy outside, chewy inside.
Have some fun. Who says no to Mentos?
Now introducing the new Mentos Extra Strong Mint.
Nasco are whole flake to retain
Mommy,
all the
what does
nutrients.
whole flakes mean? It means come on, eat your breakfast. We're going to be late for school, and stop talking with your mouth full.
Whole flaked is the natural process of making cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes are made with only fresh yellow sun-ripe corn that is flaked whole to retain all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family.
So you mean you don't know what whole flaked means?
So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole flaked Nasco cornflakes.
Welcome back. Towards correcting what it terms a wrong perception of its brand of seasoning, management of West African Seasoning Company of Nigeria, makers of Ajinomoto, unveils the new face of its seasoning. Abolade Salami in this report will tell us who these faces are.
That was the unveiling of the new face of Ajinomoto, a unique brand seasoning taste palatable to all dishes. Ajinomoto, a seasoning rich in nutritional value with a lot of health benefits, has remained a delight to most women in the kitchen. Managing Director, West Africa Seasoning Company Limited, Junichi Nikki says, Ajinomoto as a seasoning is pure in monosodium glutamate, MSG, and umami, an amino acid rich in protein, which serves as the fifth taste.
Has the function to enrich the taste, enhance other flavors. Eventually, we believe if the dish eating with your family will be delicious, it will simply lead into people's happier life. But for regarding Ajinomoto or MSG, these negative rumors are not true.
To prove their compliance to standards and quality, the management, after a tour of its production factory, said, despite the misconception about its product by some people, the seasoning has passed various tests, hence its approval by NAFDAC.
That people should consider now Ajinomoto is safe for consumption because it's scientifically proven to be safe, to be good for human consumption. And all over the world, in more than 100 countries in the world, people are consuming Ajinomoto.
With a commitment to expand the brand's social reach and increase its monthly sales from 250 million sachets, the new face of Ajinomoto, Ellen Paul and Beyonce Amosun, said the good taste of Ajinomoto will be propagated.
I grew up knowing about Ajinomoto. So the wrong perception about the product came since, of course, I've also heard about it. But right now, I've gone around the factory. They've educated us more about the product Ajinomoto. Now I'm ready to tell the world about the product and to let them know that everything is a lie.
Ajinomoto has a problem of perception, and we are trying to correct that perception. I am bringing vibrancy, I'm bringing youthfulness, I'm bringing my expertise. I'm a chef by profession, so yes, I have a lot I'm going to be offering Ajinomoto.
The management of Wasco are, however, optimistic that the coming on board of the ambassadors will bring a great impact on the brand.
Moving on, the Archbishop of the Church of God Mission International, Margaret Idahosa, recently turned 75. A high-powered event to mark her day drew dignitaries from all walks of life. Uduak Obong Achibong witnessed this feast that had Benin City, the Edo State capital, standing still for a woman in charge of one of Nigeria's largest Pentecostal churches.
An exciting time for church members and dignitaries who converged on Faith Arena, Benin, to celebrate a woman described by many as a great leader, a pace-setter, and source of inspiration.
That she knows God and she has passionately followed her God.
Presence and her ministry has brought about a lot of deliverance. While a new book written by the celebrant, Opportunities for Increase, The Mystery Behind Your Seed, was launched, Archbishop Idahosa, who released every moment of the event, looking radiant in her usual manner, said she remains grateful to God for his grace upon her life and that of members of her family.
I'm glad that the God that I have been introduced to when I was a lady, when I was a young woman, is the God that has been keeping me. I gave my life to Christ, and in him I live, I move, I have my being.
Prior to the birthday celebration, a praise concert was held, characterized with scintillating performances.
People come from across the world to say this is our mother because she raised them.
The thing I can say I've learned from her is her patience, her forgiveness.
Thank you, Mom, for just being there for all of us.
She is an excellent woman, a preacher of outstanding repute.
It's somebody I admire greatly, and I thank God for her life. The work that her husband began, she has been able to keep it so wonderfully well.
Archbishop Margaret Idahosa has been on the saddle of the church leadership for 20 years now, since the demise of her husband and founder of the church, Archbishop Benson Idahosa. Age notwithstanding, she believes more still needs to be done to spread the love of God to humanity.
Looks like 75 is the new 60. 75 hearty cheers to Mama, as she's fondly called. We wish you more years in sound health. Now, despite the influence of westernization, the Kanuri people have remained attached to their culture, and it reflects in their way of life. It was therefore not surprising when the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar ibn Umaru Garba El-Kanemi, a custodian of the tradition, gave out his daughter in marriage at a ceremony that showcased the best of Kanuri heritage. Naomi Abaku saw it all.
The wedding ceremony of Nana Fatima Shehu Abubakar ibn Umar Garba El-Kanemi and Mohammed Bello Suleiman was not only a royal gathering, but the coming together of creme de la creme of the society to witness what could also be described as intertribal marriage of Kanem Borno Empire and the Fulani Kingdom of Gombe. The wedding was officiated upon the payment of 24 gold coins, with both families represented by Senator Baba Kaka Bashir Garbe and Sarkin Fulani Gombe, Omar Koiranga, respectively.
Thanks to my parents, and then about my husband, I'll say he's a humble man, caring and loving.
Humble, very honest, down to us, respect for elders.
We thank God and we are lucky to be associated with that big house, with that big family, with that respected family in Nigeria and Africa in general.
I would advise them to be God-fearing,
They should be tolerant of one another.
As part of Kanuri tradition, Sheikh Abubakar Ibn Umar Galbe El Kanemi presented gifts to his son-in-law Muhammad Bello Suleiman.
With this gathering, people don't know that we have feast in Borno now, because we have over 30 emirs and 30 representatives of emirs who are here to attend this occasion. So by looking at this, one will justify that we have feast in Borno.
They are from different backgrounds, from different families, but essentially from the same culture. But then they need to show a lot of sobriety, tolerance, maturity, and patience for them to have a success at the marriage.
The ceremony, which began in Maiduguri, ended in Gombe, new home of the Princess of Borno, Nana Fatima Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbe El Kanemi, with the lifting of the bridal veil known as Burdankai and Walima, organized by the groom's family.
Congratulations to the princess and her lucky groom. We wish them the best of everything. Gabriel Okara's Piano and Drum is a poem that distinguishes between ancient and modern, or better put, African and Western cultures. Now, taking a look at fashion trends today, it's obvious that the West is blending with ours. So, when a fashion show tagged Roots, a Journey in History with Adire was staged in Lagos, it left no one in doubt that Adire has gone global. Anthony Forsin tells us how.
House number 45, Bishop Oluwole Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, will pass for an ordinary residential abode. But gaining entry unveils what creativity has given birth to. The brain behind the show is this lady whose fashion sense knows no bounds, Yeside Laguda. She has brought tradition face to face with modernity in this exquisite blend of sophistication and elegance in her presentation of the Roots collection at Relay Gallery.
Everybody has worked with Adire, but for me, Adire is not a fad. It's a reality. It's a result of a problem. I'm trying to solve a problem for myself. It's solving my own problem, which is I can produce fabrics and I can sew it. So I can sew it and sell to the public. So we've tried to do a lifestyle around it. So we produce some handbooks, some notebooks, some scarves. Everything that's doable, we're trying to do it in Adire.
On hand to grace the occasion was the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, Minister of State, Trade, Investment and Industry, Aisha Abubakar, Deputy Governors of Lagos and Ogun States.
Let me commend our host of today, Mrs. Laguda, for a job well done, for promoting our culture, for bringing local fabric to the limelight.
We are indeed very proud, and we all must be proud of what we have here in Nigeria. If we are talking about made in Nigeria, this is one brand that we must promote.
Yesterday is doing what we've been talking about in the government. Look inwards, use what we have, comparative advantage, create the jobs, keep the foreign exchange here and everything. But I think for me, most importantly, what she's doing is the diversification of the material. I think that is very, very important. For the very long time, we've been looking for ways to make our fabrics for everyone, not just for a particular group of people.
Yesterday said she made the collection in 2 pieces, kimonos, gowns and ballroom gowns, using stones, laces, beads, chiffon on the pieces. Yesterday explained that she is using her design to influence the environment and keep the Nigerian currency at home by working with Adire.
We are at a point in the industry where we are importing about 90% of our resources. Over time, mills closed down, factories closed down, buttons factories, zip factories. So in an industry where spontaneity is very important, where I need to create this thing, I need it now. For me to wait for importation, I'm waiting on other people's times, their tariffs, we're paying customs duties. So we decided to take control and create our fabrics by ourselves.
My Q Lifestyle, her brand name, is a fashion and style company with a mission to contribute to the economy of Nigeria through the fusion of creativity and profitability, targeted at stakeholders in the creativity space who have interest in arts and fashion.
The lady is very creative, mixing culture with fashion. So I thank God for her. We should look inward, use what belongs to us. She has funkified everything to make it, whether you want it for a dinner, party, or any evening or any occasion whatsoever.
To buy more, and more. Because that's how to encourage, to make sure you patronize her, and because they're all made in Nigeria products. And so the best bet for you is to patronize. It's an improvement to our creative industry because it gives us the assurance that the best is yet to come.
Adire designs there, and kudos to the designer. Moving on, professional counselors in Nigeria are calling for the right policy framework that would incorporate the counseling profession in national development. Those who converged on Abeokuta, Ogun State for the international conference singled out the wife of the governor of that state, Olufunsho Amosun, as an ambassador of the body. Lekon Agbonde reports on how the councillors appreciated her commitment to their cause.
With the increase in suicidal tendency among other social vices, their gathering could not have come at a better time. The guest lecturer, Professor Yankari, stressed the importance of right counseling and its impact on the society.
Nigerian counselors ought to be very proud of themselves for the quality of the work they're doing and for how they're reaching out to government to try and help government create good policies that allowed counselors to work more effectively in schools and other agencies.
Ogun State Governor Ibikula Amosun, who commended the role of counselors, assured them of his support.
A conference like this will afford us the opportunity to cross-fertilize ideas necessary for repositioning our counseling education subsector and strengthening it as a potent tool and catalyst for our much-desired national growth and development.
All these things, vices we are talking about, need the assistance of counselors. You talk of drug abuse, you talk about absenteeism, you talk about unruly behaviors, sexual deviancy, all these things that we daily see in schools and in the society need the assistance of counselors to be able to curb them.
All over, I say counseling is for all. Even in the hospitals, let me tell you that even in churches, all over in the society, some people are taking over our responsibilities. They say that we are also counselors, but they are not trained for it.
In recognition of our quest for a better society and contribution to the uplift of the needy, wife of the Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Olufunsho Amosun, was honored as the first national patron of the Association of Professional Counselors in Nigeria.
To present this plaque for our first patron in NAPOCOM, Dr. Mrs. Olufunsho Amosun.
Mrs. Amosun promised not to relent in her efforts to join hands with the association to move the nation forward.
Well, I feel extremely humbled and honored and grateful to be given such an elevated position. I guess this will push me to do more as much as possible since I believe that I'll now be in a glass bowl.
The 3-day conference had as theme, Transforming Nigeria's Education in the 21st Century.
Congrats to Olufunsho Amosun for yet another feather in her cap. After the break, we'll tell you about the breakthroughs in fertility and benefits of exclusive breastfeeding. Stay on the line.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind. especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
The old one don't vamuso as the new one land dig bam. Better bop inside every chop we get Mr. Chef's seasoning cube. 10 Jara cubes dey inside the 100 cube packets and 5 Jara cube inside the 50 cube packets. Go buy your own now before the Jara then finish. Mr. Chef, the jolliment you not go forget.
Winning in hot and dry conditions is hard. Causes the body to sweat, which attracts germs that are easily passed from one person to another.
What keeps you so cool, man?
Dettol Cool combines Dettol's protection and an invincible icy feel. For super cool confidence, use Dettol Cool.
Dettol soap is now also available for 100 Naira only.
Madam. Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three put
You are welcome, sir.
as usual, yeah? I was.
You take that one. You take that one. You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have? You don't have?
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. Mobu to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
And how they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Glad to have you back. It was an evening of thrills and glamour when scientists and journalists squeezed out time from their tight schedule in order to wine and dine. The occasion was the 2018 OFAB Media Awards. The event was to recognize journalists who have contributed to sensitizing farmers on genetically modified technology as an innovation for enhancement of their produce.
That was the aim of the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology in Africa, to recognize and reward media reportage of scientific and agricultural innovations, especially as it regards changing orientation of farmers to embrace genetically modified technology. But then, the second edition of the Media Award has some messages for the men of the pen profession.
Today, we are celebrating the contribution of distinguished media practitioners to our advocacy and sensitization efforts that we have made for the past 9 years. It is giving honor to whom honor is due.
Today's ceremony brings to mind the strategic role the media plays in our national development and the need to properly honor them whenever the occasion presents itself.
When it was time to announce the winners in the different categories, the atmosphere was full of excitement. Musa Baba Liu of the NTS Agric Desk emerged the overall winner.
So this will give me more courage to do more, especially in covering agriculture.
Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, represented by the Director News, Aliu Baba Barau, underscores the importance of the award while reiterating the need for synergy in providing information for nation building.
But in appreciative of the current administration of Muhammadu Buhari and the change agenda, giving agriculture the priority attention which the nation started with, agriculture has been the backbone of the economy.
The overall winner will be representing Nigeria in the African contest later in the year in Burkina Faso.
Congrats to all the award recipients and the NTA as #1. You may have heard some of the horrific tales told by Libyan returnees in the past year. Now, the lessons of the Libyan experience doesn't seem to have deterred many young Nigerians who believe that fleeing the country by any means will transform their lives for the better. Makut Simon Macham, who was in Mali recently, says there is another potential tragedy waiting to happen to illegal migrants there.
Bamako, the capital city of Mali, is always alive with people going about their businesses without let or hindrance. On the surface, everything looks normal, but not so for Nigerians whose story is overshadowed by a dark tale of human trafficking that is reaching alarming proportions.
You know, they come in believing that they will get good jobs. And some of them are told that you are not going to Mali, you are going to Malaysia. Sounds virtually the same. Mali, Malaysia, you know. For the average Nigerian person, the Nigerian girl that does not know the difference, they just find themselves here. And on getting here, it's either you like it or not, you are forced into the system.
Imagine there was a time we always calculate we have up less than 20 Nigerian girls coming in a month. But now, it's more than 120 in a month.
Ayomide is 15 years old and was trafficked from Nigeria and sold in Mali for sexual exploitation.
In the morning, around that kind 4 or 5, the lady carried me left, went to Bokoro, village that they call Bokoro, hand me over to a lady. The lady now sell me gift person.
Sell you?
Yes.
They paid money on you?
Yes.
How much?
I don't know, but they said that I will balance 1.5.
1.5 what?
1.5 million CFA. I said, they did not told me say that that is prostitution that I will be here to do. They said that I will be here to serve person that is washing gold. Then the person will be paying me every month. So as I reach here, they did not even tell me. It's the next day that they come, they tell me. As I reach the person that they send me gift, the person is giving me short clothes. I say,
we are about 8 girls they came with. So when they now get to Burkina, they said, okay, some girls, they will shift them to Mali. Then I was among people that they will shift to Mali. Then when they now come, then when I come to Mali, I stayed 1 week. And I see that is not what I can do. That I have family in Nigeria, and I still have baby to take care of. Which year will I use my body to give another person 1,500,000 sefa. I say, which I will not do. They have to throw me out of the house. I stayed outside from the road for more than 1 month plus.
Before you come to somebody's country, you don't know their language, you don't understand their language, how can you cope? This is what these people in Nigeria doesn't even ask. They don't ask those questions. And I wonder why some people that are families are Nigerian and their children are going outside Nigeria without letting their parents know where they are going. It's very, very, we don't understand. Even, do you know that there are people, when we got them, the victims, when we got them, we want to repatriate them back to Nigeria. You will say, how, call my mother. My mother know I'm here. Do your mother know what you are doing here? He said, my mother know I'm here. How do your mother, if you contacted the mother will feel so less concerned, and I wanted my daughter to go and bring money for me. That's what I need. Then you become tired.
And so if the situation is this bad, what is the Nigerian government doing to stop this? Particularly the Nigerian embassy here in Bamako.
The embassy has developed what are called zero tolerance for human trafficking, and that is none here. We've tried to work with the Nigerian community. So far, we've been able to put away about 10 of the major traffickers.
Is actually a call for action. We'll keep you updated. Now, doctors prescribe breast milk as the best nourishment a mother can give a baby because it contains all the essential nutrients and vitamins babies need. And as the world celebrates Breastfeeding Week, correspondent Hingindo John Adams examines how Nigerian mothers are complying with this recommendation.
This is 3-month-old baby Divine Achime, who has enjoyed exclusive breastfeeding since birth. His mother, Mrs. Ekene Achime, who has 2 other children, says her slogan is exclusive breastfeeding.
The first one, I find it a bit difficult, but with time, I now see that it's very enjoyable. So once you are feeding normal, feeding well, you won't feel it.
Like Mrs. Achime, these mothers share their experiences.
I'm on exclusive breastfeeding for the past 4 months. As you can see, she's very healthy. She doesn't fall sick quickly.
Won't experience anything like purging or running helter-skelter from one hospital to another.
I remember, I think like the 3rd month, I felt like, oh, let me just introduce something else because she was, sucking regularly and all that. But I had to just continue for the 6 months.
Mrs. Jumoke Ikumawoyi, a civil servant, tells us how she was able to balance exclusive breastfeeding and work.
I was able to do exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. After my 3 months maternity leave, I took my baby to a creche closer to my workplace. So anytime I want to go and feed him, I will just take excuse from my boss and I will go there.
However, recent research by the World Health Organization, WHO, and the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, reveals that 78 million babies, which represents 3 in 5 babies, are not breastfed within the first hour of life globally. This places them at high risk of death and diseases like diarrhea and pneumonia, the primary causes of child mortality around the globe. The study also says these babies are born in low and middle-income countries, which Nigeria happens to fall into. To encourage and support breastfeeding so as to improve the health of babies, the United Nations fixed 1st to 7th of August annually as World Breastfeeding Week. Experts say if babies are not breastfed within the first hour of birth, they will not enjoy the benefit of the first milk produced by the mother, known as colostrum, which is extremely rich in vitamins and antibodies. It also serves as the baby's first vaccine.
Breastfeeding will help to prevent infection in that early stage of the child's development. Then very importantly, the bonding between the mother and the child is established.
Only 40% of mothers that breastfeed their babies exclusively. Looking at that data, you see that it's not even up to half of the total population. And it has also been noted that only 45% of mothers breastfeed even up to 2 years of age, that's 24 months.
Breastfeeding has a way of relieving you of stress from the breast. So if you don't breastfeed your child, you're prone to having cancer, you're prone to having lumps, fibroid, and some of these things.
Apart from exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, experts are advocating continued breastfeeding combined with solid food for 2 years. But how possible is this, Becky?
Who am I to argue with doctors? The breastfeeding timeline stops at age 2 when the baby can verbally ask the mother for it. Mothers should endeavor to do the needful for the health of their babies. Time for a break. Our last segment will come after it. Stay with us.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Let's now travel to Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. It is one of the emerging cities with all the trappings to show for it. But one thing sets it apart from most towns in Nigeria, the peculiar mode of transportation. Adidiong Iba will take us through the well-paved routes to see for ourselves.
The status of a state capital in 1987 after Akwa Ibom State was created from the old Cross River states. Over the years, successive administrations have made efforts to develop the capital into a metropolitan city through various infrastructural developments, notably the Good Road Network, which is the first alluring sight that greets a visitor into the city. This consequently makes commuting within the city and other towns across the state stress-free compared to other busy capitals around the country. However, for a modern city, its preferred mode of public transportation seems curious, especially to the various classes of visitors to the capital. These are tricycles, also known as keke, a mode of public transportation that have been restricted to the internal roads or outskirts of some Nigerian cities. Despite the belief that it distorts the aesthetic value and hinders smooth flow of traffic, as well as other security concerns, keke reigns supreme here, traversing both major and internal roads, and seems to be embraced by a majority of the commuters in Uyo.
Because there are some places that taxi would not like to reach.
It will be comfortable because you will be only 3 people, and that will be very, very comfortable for you to stay.
Like this plaza here, taxi are not much, so
we are 2 in front and they are going to have 4 people behind, so it's going to be stressful.
Regardless of these reasons, which may seem plausible, other commuters feel there should be a more dignifying and organized alternative, especially for a city which frequently plays host to tourists from across the country and beyond.
It's not dignifying. There are times you dress very well, or you have a business meeting and you are supposed to go for the meeting. I mean, they can't see you coming in with keke, and some can be so crazy looking.
you can't underestimate the risks behind kekes and the taxis. The taxis drivers are more organized. To me, they are upgraded. The kekes are the okadas.
It's really very degrading that there are no taxis to take you around. For example, in situations where you want to go to somewhere classy or a very nice place, you can't show up with keke.
There is no town without taxi. Any town without taxi, that means that town is not yet started.
However, the state government says this is about to change as taxis will soon return to breathe life into the city.
Last administration had taxis, that was, spread out all over the state. Those taxis, of course, they are no more roadworthy, and therefore we have actually phased them out. But then we are actually coming up with a new trend, which, of course, will add value to the transport system in Akwa Ibom State.
The sooner this happens, the better for commuters and visitors who have long been waiting at the bus stops.
Those trunk A roads deserve more than tricycles, don't they? Well, time will tell. This is a sad one. I beg your pardon, sorry we don't have time. I believe you've had a great time with us on Newsline tonight. Join us again next week, God willing, for more. Ali Baba is in our studios. His show comes right after this. Last week's edition was great for you, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. And the men are asking that I should do their own edition, that they have men who have first class as well. So we're working on it. But a lot of them are second class. Okay, we'll take first class.
I was waiting for the punchline. Well, from me, it's good night and God bless.